Hello, fly babies. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today we're going to talk about how to make a menu. So get out your paper and pencil because we've got some brainstorming to do. First thing we're going to do is talk about what kind of foods does your family like? Do you like Mexican food in your family? If not, or if it's iffy, maybe it shouldn't be one of your categories, because what we want to do is make 7 categories that you can cook from every week. Let me give you an example. In the old days, with the Sidetracked Home Executives, the book I often refer to, they had Monday as leftover or paper plate night. On Tuesday it was chicken. On Wednesday it was fish. On Thursday, it was casserole or crock-pot night. On Friday, hamburgers, tacos, spaghetti. On Saturday was Cook's Choice, and on Sunday was feast, roast, ham. Okay? Now, there's a book out right now called The Food Nanny, and I will, after I publish this, I'll get the link and put it out there. But it takes things in a little different way. It says, I'm not sure which night is which, but there's like a Mexican night, an Italian night, a meatless or fish or breakfast for dinner night, a comfort food night, a pizza night, a grill night, and a traditional night. So in that case, you can take, let's just say Mexican again. Let's say your family loves burritos. Let's say they also love tacos. Let's say they also love taco salad. So there's 3 things that you could serve on Mexican night. Let's go to Italian night. Let's say your family loves spaghetti. Let's say they love lasagna. And let's say they love, let's go with a big salad. What do you call the salad with all the meats and things in it? Yeah, that. Then on fish or meatless or breakfast for dinner night, why can't we do, I'm so glad, Anna, why can't we do pancakes for dinner? Pancakes and sausage for dinner. That would be fun. What else does your family like? Well, they really like cod. So how about cod for dinner? Another night, let's do just a vegetarian dinner. Everybody likes corn on the cob. They like salad. They like baked potato. They like green beans. We'll just have a big meatless dinner. Maybe we'll have legumes at night, maybe black-eyed peas and rice. Or my family, we like lima beans and rice, the big dried limas. Some people call them butter beans in the South, and cornbread. So that would be a night for fish or meatless or breakfast for dinner. Then for comfort food, where I live, we have something called perlo, which is rice cooked with meat. So we have chicken perlo, pork perlo, shrimp perlo, sausage perlo. Those are comfort foods for me because they go all the way back to my childhood. Other things that are comfort foods for me would be chicken and dumplings. So think about what foods are comfort foods for you. Maybe meatloaf is comfort food for you. Whatever that is, you put that in there. Oh, hi, Elena. I'm glad you like it. Then let's go to pizza night. Well, pizza night isn't just a frozen pizza or ordering a pizza, but it's making pizza as a family. So even if you're not great at making pizza crust, and you might learn to be, it's not hard to make at all, but maybe you can go to the grocery store and buy a pizza crust. Our Publix, which is our local nicer grocery store, has fresh pizza that you can, it's just a ball of dough, you bring it home and roll it out, and so the kids can put whatever they want on their little individual pizzas, and it's another way to encourage them to eat. So pizza night could be different every single Friday. Grill night, what is that? That's things you make on the grill. Oh, he does? Awesome. So you can make hamburgers, you could make hot dogs, you could do steak, you could do ribs. Think of all the things you can make on the grill. And even if it's cold weather or raining, you can still do it. Hi, Michigan. Hi, Linda. You can still do it on your stove or in the oven. You can do it. And then on Sunday, feast, roast, ham is what the original book, the Sidetracked Home Executives, had. And I think that she has traditional there. So whatever it is that you want to do on Sunday, for me, I really like the feast roast ham because I make a roast chicken, roast beef, things like that on Sunday. So we have a big we call it a dinner, it's more at 2 o'clock instead of like lunch. And then we have a light supper instead of what we call dinner every evening. So that's an idea. So what you'll do is you'll get with your family, sit down together and say, what kind of foods do you like? And then start coming up with an outline for your family. What works for your family isn't going to work for my family. And what works for my family might not work for your family. So sit down and come up with 7 different categories of food. And then when you do, then you can start thinking about what's in that category. What does my family like? If they only have 7 things they like right now and it's one for every night, that's a place to start. But you can try different things. And just because you say that tonight is, fish night and you like cod, well, what's going to go with that cod? How are you going to make it different this time? Or whatever. So that's an idea for you. I'd love to hear your ideas. If you'll put notes on this, if you're catching this after the fact, just let me know what kind of meals you're thinking about making up. And while we're on meals, let's talk about children who won't eat. That's a problem for a lot of people, and let's talk about that. Let's think about that. First of all, the thing I've noticed with children who won't eat is that they get a lot of attention about not eating at the table. So I would say the number one thing to do is ignore the fact that they're not eating. The number 2 thing, well actually that would be number 2. Number 1 thing would be sit down at the table together with your family. It's important because you're trying to build eating habits in your children and making this something fun and enjoyable for them. When you take a child from their play and drag them to the table, they're not interested in eating, they're playing. So just like I tell you at night when your kids are getting ready to go to bed at night, that you don't say, okay, time to get ready for bed. They're not going to do that. They're going to scream and have a fit. You're going to give them 20 minutes or 30 minutes advance notice, and then 5 minutes do the same thing for dinner. In 30 minutes, we're going to have dinner. And then 5 minutes before, in 5 minutes, we're going to have dinner. Put your things away. Start to get ready. Go wash your hands so they can start getting ready. They don't actually have to do it that very second, but you can get them on their way. Now, the other thing that I've noticed is that people give their children snacks way too close to dinner. So you want to make sure your child is good and hungry when they sit down. And also offer something that you know that they like to eat. I realize that there are those outliers who don't like to eat anything, and I would seek professional help on those. But this is just for regular kids. Not that your child isn't regular, please don't misinterpret me. But for a child who has a really severe problem, you need really professional help, and I'm not that person. I'm just talking about in the day-to-day world when kids won't eat because they've had too much to eat before they ate, or something that took their appetite away, or they're drinking too much. Even water can take your appetite away for a little bit. So you want to make sure your children are good and hungry, and it's colorful, it's something they've chosen, maybe they've even helped prepare, like on pizza night. And we sit down and we say, boy, this looks good. And then we talk about our day. And we don't talk about food allergies can be a problem, but this is why you can work together as a family. That's why I say what won't work for my family will work for yours, and vice versa. So sit down and talk to them about things they like to eat. And with children, you can even play with food, the plastic food. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. And you just pretend like you're eating. But don't focus on it. When you focus on it, it's too hard. It's too hard for the child. It puts too much pressure on the children. So nice and easy. What was the happiest thing that happened to you today? We go around the table and talk about that. And, ooh, you want to taste mine? I put something else on it. I put ketchup on mine. Who wants to taste it with ketchup? Would you like some ketchup? That kind of thing. But nobody is paying attention to the fact that somebody's not eating. Okay, we're just going to let it be. Now, when dinner's over, everyone done? Good. Take your plate to the sink. Let's scrape it out or in the garbage. Wash it off and put it in the dishwasher. Everybody helps. And then a few minutes later, that little one who didn't eat is going to be cranky and hungry. And they might not even realize they're hungry. But if they are hungry and they say they're hungry, say, oh, you know what? I saved some dinner. If you're still hungry, you can have some more. I didn't want to eat that, whatever it is. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Then you'll be good and hungry for breakfast tomorrow morning, won't you? and drop it. We have to have natural consequences. Eventually your children will eat their dinner, and unless, as I said before, there's a real issue and that needs to be addressed professionally. Okay, but those are just some things to think about. Again, I know sitting at the table is difficult, but with little children, I feel that it's very, very important that you sit at the table and have dinner together as a family and make it fun. All right, that's it for today. I hope this was helpful in some way. Oh, I did forget to mention, when you're making your menu, hey Kat. Oh, yay, Mama Kat, yay! I love Mama Kat. She has a great channel. You ought to go check her out. Mama Kat Homestead, I think it's her new name. Mama Kat, what's your new link name, your channel name? Put it up for me. Thanks. Okay. Let's talk also about when we're doing our preparation for grocery shopping, when we make our menu. The thing I want you to do. Oh, it's not over. We're live. We're live. The thing that I want you to do when you go to the kitchen and go into the refrigerator on your preparation day, on Wednesdays typically, you're going to look in your refrigerator, throw out the things that are too old. You know, you don't want to keep leftovers in the fridge more than about 3 days. After that, they're really not very tasty, and sometimes even it's unhealthy. So out they go. That's for leftover foods. But if anything has been in there less than that, you can plan on using that as part of your leftovers. And then look in the freezer, look in the pantry, see what you've got, and make your menu kind of based on that. Yeah, Mama Kat, if you'll just put your channel name, it's Mama Kat's Homestead. That's what it is. Mama Kat's Homestead. You guys go check her out. She's fun. She raises chickens, and she has a little garden, and I think she's so much fun to watch. All right, so when you make your menu, you want to try to use up the things you have in your house. So even though you're doing, let's say, for example, Italian night, maybe there's something in there that you can use on your Italian night. Maybe you can do something with legumes on Italian night. Look and see. And when you run across new recipes, you can say, hey, family, I found something new for Italian night. What do you think about this? And they may say, ooh, that sounds good. Let's try it. And if they like it, it's a hit. Then it goes on your Italian night. Anyway, that's it. Okay, if you can think of anything else or you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, you can go back and watch this video again. What else? I don't know. Give me some ideas of what you'd like me to talk to you about also, because I'd love to do that. I've noticed that, hi Deb, I've noticed that can't get them to eat leftovers. You know, my mom is not great with leftovers either, but I like them, so I eat them for lunch. And that's also a good thing to do. Another thing people do, they say with leftovers, is make them into something else. Like leftover chicken, maybe shred it and make it into chicken barbecue sandwiches. You know, you can look online and find lots of great ideas for leftovers. I hope that's helpful. All right. Also, I do want to say this. Don't cook too much food. You know, if you always have leftovers and you're always throwing them out, then you're cooking too much food. You can save on your groceries. You can save on having piles of Tupperware. You don't need all that. If you cook exactly what you need or just a little bit more, that's great. And then if there is a little leftover, it could be your lunch tomorrow. I freeze certain leftover meat and turn it into casseroles. Great idea, Mama Kat. I love that idea. So that's another thing we can do with leftovers, freeze it. And as a matter of fact, if you watched Kat and Mr. B, I made the Mississippi beef roast that Kimmy had on her website, on her channel. It's delicious, but I had to leave to go to my parents the next day. So we had, for a whole week, Larry had this roast, and it's just the two of us, and it was just the one of him. So we ate it for a couple of days, and then he froze what's left. And so Kimmy told me today, I was talking to Kimmy, and she said, yeah, you know, a lot of times I'll freeze it and then just make sliders out of it later on. I said, great idea. We can make sliders, because that's what her video is actually about, is making sliders, which is, I think she used potato rolls and mozzarella cheese, and ooh, it looked awesome. All right, I pack my child and husband's lunches, and that's great. Pantry organization. You know, I think pantry organization is one of the hardest things there is to do, because the pantry is organic. Things keep coming and going and changing. And in general, I try to keep my canned goods together, my fruit separated from my meat, separated from my vegetables. I try to keep my condiments together, my spices together, my boxed cereals and things like that together. and mixes together and then baking things together. So that's how I arrange mine. But it's going to be unique to you and how your family eats. But in general, just put like things alike. That's what I say. And also, if you're going to arrange your pantry, unless you have like an afternoon with nothing to do and you don't anticipate any interruptions, my suggestion is just do a shelf at a time. So pull everything off one shelf. Decide before you even start what's going to go where based on what you have. Excuse me. Sorry. And then put the like things alike on that shelf. And what's left over, just kind of shove it on the other shelves for now. The next day you can do the next shelf. You might have some more things that go on the top shelf and then what you want on this shelf, and all the way through until you're done. So you are going to have things that aren't going to have a home or going to be shoved on a shelf that you haven't organized yet until you're done. But that's my recommendation for pantry organization. Now, there are loads of people like Do It on a Dime. She has a fabulous, here's the book. She has a fabulous thing. It's called the Sidetracked Home Executives by Peggy and Pam. And it's awesome. Just awesome. Love them. It's Pam Young and Peggy Jones is what their names were back then. That's a fun book. It's it's a little antiquated now because it was written, in the 80s, 70s, and I think they started it in 77, started doing this. But it's a fun book. Okay, I was distracted. So what did I say? What was I saying? Someone help me. Waiting. Thank you. I struggle to stop the deep cleaning. Okay, yeah. We were talking about the pantry. Yeah, don't deep clean. Set your timer. Decide what you're going to do first. And ping pong, we all have the brains going everywhere. Make yourself a list of exactly what you're going to do. If something else comes into your mind, write it on your list. All right. So that was organizing. Oh, Do It on a Dime. I was telling you about her. And Clutterbug. They are great sites that show, thank you, Shannon. I appreciate it. They show great things that they go to the Dollar Tree and they get cute, colorful things that are all color coordinated. And they even do... Kimmy Hughes, Kimmy's, she's in her apron, has, where she's organized hers. And I organized mine, but I found that I'm not as happy with lots of containers. I'd rather just be able to reach in and get my can than have to pull out. But it depends on the kind of... Okay, well, Mama Cat, if he wants to pull everything out and organize it, I was just saying, I let my husband do that, and he did it. Was it great? It was good. It was good. And I went in and just redid it a little bit myself more, but he started it, so that was great. If they want to help, let him help. If he needs to do some construction in there, that's awesome. You'll love that, especially if he can get you more room. With one thing we are all short on is room. Yeah, somebody's already talking to you, Mama Cat. Okay, that's a great idea. Mama Cat, she doesn't do containers. She does little hanging shelves. That's a great idea. Yeah, I'm not wild about the containers myself except for certain things like spices. More shelves. Yay. Tell them to come to my house. All right, that's it for today. I hope this helped you with menu planning, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I want you to all know that I know that you are beautiful. Bye-bye. You're welcome.